Hey everyone, my name is Will, and I like to talk about music. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the latest mixtape from Death's Dynamic Shroud and Galen Tipton, You Like Music. This is the latest mixtape from producer Galen Tipton, who has also teamed up with the electronic trio Death's Dynamic Shroud. This group is known to have released mixtapes on Bandcamp, and they're also notable for their extraordinary ventures in electronic music, and I think this continues to be evident on this latest project. There's a striking cacophony to the sounds that are on display on this latest record, but at the same time, there's a beautiful organization. They are able to take all of these different styles and aesthetics and meld them together into tracks that are groovy, hypnotic, and even sometimes spellbinding. For example, it's hard to completely gauge some of the production and instrumentation on the title track, You Like Music, as it offers a true sense of electronic cacophony. However, there's a certain organization to the chaos. In fact, the grooves here are nothing all that complex and contribute to a sound that is quite clubby and dance centric. It's definitely something you can nod your head along to. The rhythms on this cut are so intense and ear grabbing, from the electronic effects that sound like they're dissolving in the background to the relentless chopped vocals that often come in other tracks on the project as well. The general pace of the following track, Herobrine Shell 2049, is slower and more menacing, especially with that intro that sets up those percussion sounds that almost sound like gunshots. And it generally continues to cover a similar style that the title track did, with its intricate rhythms and skittering drum sequences, but does so in a much more jagged way. There are also moments on this record that are centered around giving you an experience that is intriguing due to the juxtaposition between differing sections that have unique qualities to their production. Generate Utopia is the most obvious example of this due to the incredible contrast presented throughout, with one section being much more straightforward and relentless in its approach by delivering aggressive electronic sequences, while the other is much more spacey and surreal and also features the first vocal refrain presented on the album. This is also layered with light piano and these bass licks that are pretty groovy, as well as these hypnotic and alluring effects in the background as well. The whole thing adds up to the song feeling pretty puzzling and perplexing at points as well. Drifting on Bethel is a more straightforward cut when it comes to its progression, but still presents some of the most intense and blistering synth work and vocal chops on the record. The staggering rhythms that you hear in the opening of the track eventually builds into an explosion of propulsive synthesizers that just will not give up with their relentless progression. It is impressive how, even in the most active and brutal instrumental moments on this record, it never loses its sense of rhythm and groove. Crypto Resort Grift is yet another amazing concoction of sounds that has a spell-binding quality. The instrumental is centered around one of the catchiest bass grooves on the mixtape that is constantly interlocked with hits of percussion. And then this is juxtaposed with other elements that are a bit more subtle and hypnotic, such as piano and ascending vocal harmonies as well, one of the more unusual additions to the record. There are a couple of issues I could have with the moments on the back end of this record, starting with No Dream's Smoke Tip, which takes elements from house and club music in an in-your-face, blunt, and aggressive direction with its use of synthesizer jabs that storm their way into the beat. However, as much as I really do enjoy the crazy beats on this track, I wouldn't say it's one of the most adventurous innovations to the sound that they're presenting here, and it reads to me as one of the more underwhelming tracks, despite its crazy energy overall. And No Worries If Not is a strange combination of sounds that strangely works for the most part. The main vocal refrains from the track read to me like they could be cut out of some love ballad, while other elements of the track sound like they are inspired by hip-hop and maybe even rock, with the punching percussion hits in the low end of the mix as well. I do love a lot of the ideas presented here, but I wish they pushed them in a much more varied direction, as I do think the track tends to drag on a little bit towards the back half. But then the closer, Full Body to Flip is really a track that just has a escalating progression that is a very edge of your seat, exciting finish for the record. It just has these big synthesizer chords and sequences that just continue to build in energy throughout. All around, this is a banger of a mixtape that I highly recommend, especially if you're looking for an entrancing, hypnotic, and refreshing blend of electronic with house and club aesthetics as well. It's truly a perplexing record at times, but it is nevertheless just insanely groovy and something that you're not going to be able to get out of your head. And I'm sure that I will not be putting this thing down for a lot of the remainder of the year. So with that being said, I'm feeling an A+ on this mixtape. But what did you think about this mixtape? Did you love it? Are you not so crazy about it? Let me know in the comments below. What other music content would you like me to do next? Is there any discographies you'd like me to rank? Any albums you would like me to review as well? Let me know. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Will's Music Review, and I'll see you in the next video.